Rome was the most powerful empire the ancient world had ever known. Its legions marched with mechanical precision. Its banners spread fear long before the first blow was struck. From the burning sands of North Africa to the cold forests of Europe, Rome ruled not through diplomacy, but through domination. Where Roman boots marched, resistance died. Rebellions were crushed quickly and publicly. Kings were humiliated in chains. Entire tribes vanished into mass graves, remembered only as warnings. For decades, Rome believed this order was unbreakable. But in the distant, rain-soaked province of Britain, Rome made a mistake so severe that it nearly lost the island entirely. It believed power could never rise from a woman. That woman was Boudica, and the war she unleashed would shock Rome so deeply that even its own historians struggled to record it without fear. This is the true story of how one woman turned Roman cities into graveyards. Britain under Roman rule was not peaceful. It was quiet in the way conquered lands are quiet, silent from fear. The legions had taken the land by force, carving roads through forests stained with blood. They demanded taxes from tribes already struggling to survive. Young men were taken for forced labor. Sacred traditions were mocked or erased. Rome did not ask for loyalty. It demanded submission. Tribes that resisted openly were annihilated. Those that cooperated survived, but only as shadows of what they once were. The Iceni tribe chose cooperation. Their king, Prasutagus, ruled as a Roman ally. He believed loyalty would protect his people, his wealth, and his daughters. He believed Roman law still held meaning. When Prasutagus died, he left his kingdom jointly to Rome and his daughters, hoping the empire would honor his final will and preserve his bloodline. Rome ignored it completely. Roman officials stormed Iceni lands, seized property, and stripped the royal family of authority. Boudica was dragged into the open and whipped before her people. Her daughters were assaulted by Roman soldiers, not in secret but as an act of dominance. This was not an accident. It was not indiscipline. It was Roman policy. And in that moment, Rome created something it could not control. Boudica did not cry. She did not beg. She did not appeal to Roman courts she knew were meaningless. She understood a brutal truth. Rome respected only strength, and strength came only from force. She traveled across Britain, moving from tribe to tribe, village to village. Her message spread faster than Roman messengers could stop it. Men came carrying weapons sharpened by years of humiliation. Women came driven by rage and grief. Elders came knowing they might not survive, but refusing to die in silence. Roman writers described Boudica as tall and commanding, her voice cutting through crowds like steel. Her presence alone inspired obedience and fury. Standing before thousands, she spoke of stolen land, broken promises, violated daughters, and the price of silence. She did not promise gold. She did not promise comfort. She did not even promise survival. She promised war, and Britain listened. What Rome dismissed as scattered rebels, Boudica forged into a unified force fueled by revenge. The first target was Camulodunum, a Roman colony built as a living symbol of imperial dominance. The city had no strong defenses. Its Roman veterans believed no native force would ever dare attack it. They laughed at rumors of a woman leading an army. Then the Britons arrived. Boudica's forces descended without warning, flooding the streets like a storm. The assault was savage and uncontrollable. Homes were burned with families still inside. Roman soldiers were dragged from their quarters and butchered. Civilians ran for sanctuary in temples that quickly collapsed under fire and falling stone. For days, the city burned. Roman historians later admitted a horrifying truth. There were no survivors. Camulodunum did not fall. It ceased to exist. And across Britain, a dangerous realization spread: the empire could bleed. Panic swept through Roman command. Governor Suetonius Paulinus rushed south with what legions he could gather. But Britain was already burning. Tribes rose everywhere. Roman outposts vanished overnight. Fear traveled faster than orders. Boudica did not slow down. Her army grew with every victory, swelling with men and women who had waited years for this moment. Her next target was Londinium, a young but vital Roman trade center and the heart of imperial administration. Suetonius arrived, assessed the numbers, and made a decision that shocked Rome itself. He abandoned the city. Rome had never done this before. Boudicca's forces entered Londinium unopposed. What followed was annihilation. Buildings burned until the sky darkened with smoke. Those who remained were killed without mercy. The streets filled with bodies so thick they blocked escape routes. Ancient sources describe piles of the dead lining the roads for miles. Rome's confidence shattered. This was no longer just rebellion. It was psychological warfare. Roman soldiers were trained to fear disciplined armies, familiar tactics, and male commanders shaped by Roman doctrine. Boudica was none of these. She fought alongside her people. She rode a war chariot through fire, blood, and screaming chaos. She appeared wherever resistance was strongest, turning hesitation into fury. Roman accounts record something deeply unsettling. The women fought with the same ferocity as the men. There were no prisoners, no negotiations, no mercy. Rome's greatest weapon, fear, had turned against it. The empire could not allow this humiliation to continue. Suetonius regrouped the remaining legions and chose the battlefield carefully, a narrow stretch along Watling Street. Here, numbers would mean nothing. Here, discipline would decide the outcome. Boudica gathered her forces for the final confrontation. They were larger than the Roman army. They were enraged. They believed the empire was already breaking. The fate of Roman Britain would be decided in a single day. The Britons advanced with thunderous war cries that echoed across the valley. They charged with raw fury, overwhelming the senses. The Roman legions did not move. Shields locked together with iron discipline. Spears struck forward in perfect rhythm. The narrow terrain trapped the charging warriors. Momentum died. Bodies fell by the thousands. Fury turned into chaos. Roman discipline transformed the battlefield into a killing ground. By nightfall, the field was carpeted with the dead. Ancient sources claim tens of thousands were killed in a single day. The rebellion collapsed in blood. Boudica was not captured. She refused chains. She refused humiliation. She refused to become a Roman trophy. According to historical accounts, she chose poison over surrender. Rome had won the battle, but it had lost something far greater: its illusion of invincibility. After the revolt, Rome ruled Britain differently. Defenses were strengthened. Governors acted with caution. Open brutality was reduced, replaced by controlled fear. Roman historians admitted a painful truth: no enemy had ever come so close to destroying Roman rule in Britain. And that enemy was a woman they underestimated. Boudica did not live to see freedom, but she forced Rome to remember fear. Her war burned cities. Her revenge shook an empire. Her name survived even in the writings of her enemies. She did not conquer Rome. She made Rome afraid, and that is why history could never erase her. If you respect real war history, not myths or fantasy like this video, if you want more true stories of forgotten empires, brutal battles, and warriors history tried to erase, subscribe to Forgotten Empire. And comment below: was Boudica a hero of freedom, or the most dangerous enemy Rome ever faced? The next forgotten war is already waiting.